This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Welcome everyone to Morphin Network. I'm Quasar Red, coming to you live with a very special Morphin Toy Time. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Scorpina versus Aisha double pack. And you may notice this isn't going to be like our usual unboxing toy time because Ryan and Jen aren't here. But I'm not going to be alone in doing this. Please join me in welcoming back, live from California, the American Scorpina herself. Wait, hold on one sec. The American Scorpina herself, Sabrina Lu. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you, Kent?
I'm great. I'm amazing. Before we officially get started, I think the last time we spoke, it was the Viewing Globe podcast.
Probably, yeah. It's been a bit.
What all have you been up to since then?
Oh gosh, like everybody, readjusting to kind of everything we had to go through with COVID and all of that. But I always say just make the best of every situation, and I feel like our family did that. A lot of people did that, so I'm just wishing everybody well. Hoping everybody's doing okay. So
exactly. Hopefully we're near the end of this crazy time. So soon, eventually. I also hear you got to kind of reprise your role a little bit as Scorpina in Legacy Wars. What was that like?
Oh yeah, you know what? That was so amazingly fun just to get to do, some of her lines and just to be able to make some up and then take some from like what fans like you suggested and things like that to add into the game. And over the years, I think that the fans have been the most instrumental in helping me get a better understanding of her, from all of her history and everything. And yeah, that was just a ton of fun. And being that we're, in our weird COVID times, it was kind of nice because with the way technology is, I could just do this in our downstairs closet. So we just carpeted the walls and set up a laptop and microphone and everything, and then we just could do it in the closet.
It's amazing. You can you can do a whole show just like in the corner over there, just soundproof it and stuff. Anyway, so Hasbro, if you're listening, she does the voice now, and she has the costume. So do something with her soon. And speaking of which, why aren't you in uniform?
Okay. All set.
There we go. So now we have Scorpina herself reviewing a figure of herself while she's dressed like Scorpina. So if the universe blows up, we cannot be held responsible.
We know everything is actually okay.
So yes, this is the first TV show accurate figure of Scorpina, and she's had a bit of an interesting history, toy line wise. And before we get to the unboxing, let's have a little quick look at her history. Scorpina was originally set to have a figure released alongside the original 5-inch Mighty Morphin lines, but sadly, presumably due to maybe the pointiness of the figure and maybe the character's limited screen time, she was pulled. And over the year, she was also supposed to be other notable figures that were pulled from this line was Rita Repulsa herself and a figure of this character named Mutitus. Over the years, some fans have done some very impressive custom works on it. But she didn't make her official Toy Biz debut until 2019, I believe, in the Imaginext toy line, where she's featured alongside Power Rangers' famous monster, King Spinks. And this may not be the end of Scorpina's time in the spotlight. She's set to have another figure release, I think, later this year. And due to her multiple appearances, um, especially in the comic books, we may get to be seeing alternate versions of her in these forms at some point. I can't say if any of this is confirmed or not, but it's just something to be on the lookout for. So, do you have do you have your box?
I do. I do. I have
Hmm. So, you ready? Want to bust these suckers open?
Okay, let's do
Here we
this.
go.
Oh,
Okay, just
I know about scissors.
if you had your glove, you could just be like,
No, what I need is my weapon. I mean, that
Mhm.
might be a little bit. It might be a little over. There we go. I'm in. I'm in. Okay.
Sweet. I am too. So, oh,
Oops, my big purple lightning fell to the ground. Hang on.
mine did the same just a moment
Hold
ago.
on. Be right. Okay. Back.
All right. So, I think we'll go over the Aisha figure right quick first. Now, something we were talking about this last night. Yes, this pack is essentially a tribute, a huge tribute. Hold on, I'm trying to get these. This is a huge tribute to Sabrina's episode, Goldar's Vice Versa, and one of the biggest clues of it being this head sculpt of Karen Ashley, because look, it looks just like her, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's like the coolest thing. That there's just no doubt this is Goldar's Vice Versa. Like the two of them together actually kind of interestingly, if they had just come out first with Scorpina by herself, it could have been like, well, she could be, season 1 Scorpina original footage from the original series and not me. But by placing her with Aisha, it sort of like seals the deal, like especially you're right. I mean, this is the best thing is that it's literally the hairdo and the scrunchie. The detail is really, really something. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's insane. Like how, yeah, it looked a little off at first, like this was just from prototype images, but yeah, definitely looking up close, this definitely looks like Karen. And what's also a little clever note to another clever thing about this, so Goldar's Vice Versa was a season 2 episode, and Karen had probably she ends up looking, I think, the most different going from seasons 2 to 3, because she has the very 90s Saved by the Bell hairdo in season 2, and then she gets this long dreadlock look in the 3rd season. And so what's clever about this is we get a figure of her in her 2nd season hairdo, and then we're also going to get this was a power up she got in the 3rd season.
Oh yeah,
and it'll come with her dreadlock look. So that was very clever on Hasbro's part to incorporate.
I agree. It's like I love that they paid so much attention to all the footage, and whether they were looking at like the videos or stills. Oh, I lost one of my little dagger things. Hang on, going back to the floor.
Speaking, while you find that, yes, the Yellow Ranger's accessories include her signature power daggers and a blade blaster, as in both sword and gun mode, which is pretty awesome.
EJ, could you let show out? Sorry, dog needs to out.
And what's also pretty neat about this is also a pretty good way. Like, I never saw the original Trini figure in stores, so this is a pretty great way to get another Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger figure if you missed out beforehand. So
Yeah, no, totally. You've got like just in classic Mighty Morphin, you know, ready to go. So that'll
exactly,
have just 1,001 uses.
exactly. And now this actually makes me want to collect the rest of the Lightning figures. Like the Ranger figures. Like I have pink right here, but and yellow, but now I want to get the rest because of this.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but anyway, that reminds me right quick. So it is funny, Aisha and Scorpina had the little rivalry in the episode, but it's funny we don't see them like actually throw a single punch at each other. So that brings me to a question I think you might have answered before, but like I don't think it was live. Was there plans for you to fight the other Rangers after Aisha and Adam morphed?
That is a great question. I actually think that, and this is just totally based on my own random logic and not any actual factual proof. But I think it was a little bit difficult that because as a villain at this time, the villains that fought with the Rangers and the putties and all of that fought alongside the putties, obviously, but fought against the Rangers, were all did not have their faces showing, right?
Right.
So, they could be totally put in as stunt people and, with no trouble at all. I mean, you didn't have to look anything like, the person. So
Mm-hmm.
I think when they came to this episode, they were like, "Okay, well, if her face is gonna show, uh, it's gotta actually be her." So that I actually did I actually did the stunts of in that episode, um and so I think that probably limited what they could do because they were sort of like, okay, we've got to make sure that we don't like hurt this random actress that doesn't have at all the skills of our stunt crew, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They had to kind of be conscious of that. So
Yeah, that makes sense. It would have been cool, to get to see like maybe the guys would take on Goldar and you got to take on Kimberly and Aisha, or maybe
yeah.
have Adam and maybe have a personal little fight with Aisha and Adam since you tricked them in the episode. So hmm
That
now
would have made tons of sense, actually. But yeah, that would have been really cool too, especially if we could have done it even like, um, if she was, if Karen was able to just like be, once they morphed, they were in their helmets and stuff anyways. So it would have been, it would have been really fun. That would have been a really good thing. We should probably have like lost footage, like an episode of like part of the fight that took place that no one ever saw,
hmm
which could be the actual Scorpina against Kimberly and Aisha.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Let's use our time turners from Harry Potter and go back and
Right.
see. So, yes, I overall Aisha, like quick, like well, one more thing, like here's like some size comparison. Here she is with Goldar. Here she is with a legacy figure from my 2014's toy line, and Rita Repulsa. So yeah, overall, awesome figure of the Mighty Morphin Yellow. Comes with these really cool blast effects. Now we can move on to the main event. Oh, so here she is out of packaging, and she just, what do you think?
I am like super impressed. I have to say the detail, even when I was looking at her like in the box, I was like, wow, they got all of the little jewels. And then what really was remarkable to me was um even this little, the side, the little jewel over here and all that kind of stuff. The positioning of the band on,
Her
the
L.
upper bicep, which I have to tell you, like in real life, this was so awkward because you actually, when you move around, your bicep flexes and gets like bigger and smaller. And I'm incredibly strong. No, I'm just kidding. But so it's very weird to put a band around your bicep, but that's actually totally accurate from the actual. I have this framed 8x10 of myself, like you do, and so this is actually on somebody's desk, and anyways, and totally right there's the band around the bicep and everything else. So when I was like looking through, I would say the only thing that's a little bit off dimensionally, and I think you brought this up too, is my weapon should be just a little bit bigger, a little
Right.
bigger, because I know I'm short, but it was like more than half my height. You know what I mean? So it would easily have been like up to yeah. It was pretty good size. Oh, that's a great picture of it.
Fun fact for those who don't know, apparently Lammy and Jew Ranger was originally supposed to have like a battle mask or something, I think. But just that this was the only picture I could find of her holding the boomerang right now. So but yeah, like I said, it's not really a major complaint, but yeah, I do think the boomerang sword should be a little more be slightly bigger. But it overall looks pretty good. And now you can also, and it comes with this lightning effect, by the way, and you can have her recreate the sting bit. Like in one of the first episodes, she like charges it up and strikes the Rangers with it, which was pretty cool. And she's like, "Now feel my sting." So that's pretty neat. Yeah, these blast effects, like they look. I'm kind of iffy about them sometimes, but when I actually put them on the weapons, they end up looking really cool. So.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
Mhm. One thing, yeah, and like I said, it's just mind blowing to actually be holding this right now because, like I said, it's almost been 30 years. Like I've been wanting something like this for almost 30 years now, which is kind of insane. Um, Trying not to say our ages. Sorry about that, but yeah, it's like it's just weird that this is finally in action. Like we
You know
finally.
what, Kent, we're timeless. You and I,
Mhm.
we're just, we're timeless.
Good.
We're classics.
Exactly.
I am more classic as far as like age wise, obviously.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Anyway, something a detail I personally never noticed before is, and it's not even really a big thing. I never noticed these buttons on her back. Does your costume have that?
That is such a valid question. Well, I have to hand it to Drillin Cosplay, who made this, who made the one that I wear at cons, because Hasbro has the original. There was a lot of like stuff holding like the straps together. So that's probably what all that is.
Hmm.
I don't recall what the
Hmm.
back of mine looks like. You know what? There's the footage of when oh, and you know what, here, okay, this is something I just noticed, but there probably isn't great footage of what the back of the costume from Goldar's Vice Versa, because
Hmm.
my hair was longer than this. Like,
Right, right.
it's probably close to how long my hair is right now, but like it was all the way down. Yeah, exactly. Wow, you know what? You bring up the graphics like a boss. Okay. So the thing
Right.
is that you never saw the back like this, because but I like that they gave her a little trim, because you can see the detail. So
Hmm.
they, being Hasbro, they have the suit, right? So
Right.
I would lean toward this being accurate and them using the actual suit and then photos and stills from the episode as well. But there probably isn't a moment in the episode where we could find, you know what I mean, where we could find that, only because my hair would be covering it.
Right, right. Oh, it's definitely. I'll have to go back and definitely check that out and see. But anyway, yeah. Now, another thing I like about this figure is like these metal parts here, like her neck collar and
Oh yeah.
the part here and the hair on her sides. It's nicely weathered, which is pretty cool. I think in the show it looks like just looks like regular metal, but I like the weathering effect they added here. And
Yeah.
what's also really neat about this figure is that not everything is really sculpted on. Like for example, the helmet's not like sculpted onto the head. Like it actually is like it's two pieces, and the shoulder pad, the armor bit here. Like as some of this is
Right.
definitely molded, but it's like the it is cool that most of this figure is coming off like it's actually wearing something rather than it just being all like just sort of like not most action figures normally have everything fused onto them. But
Yeah,
this
no, for sure. Like the belt, and then what's interesting to me is because they made her so, posable and stuff, right? Do,
mhm
she can do funny things. Um, since they did that with her, they did the break like the boot to the thigh armor, right?
mhm right.
Is so true to the costume. Like the kneecap piece fit right into the top of the boot. Like that's exactly right. And
Mhm
like I just think that's amazing. And then this glove piece that looks, like you can slide it on because that's actually what you did. And then even the interior of the glove being red is so accurate. Like I really do hand it to them. And I will have to say this, it's like they got this whole distressed metal look, which it makes so much more sense obviously as you're out there fighting in the universe. You're not going to
mhm
be shining up your armor all the time. But
mhm
in the suit itself, it wasn't metal, obviously. It was just that, like, I don't even know, vinyl almost kind of material, but very shiny. And so it was totally flexible.
mhm
So you could fight, because otherwise this whole situation with the thigh would be very difficult to, like, you know,
maneuver.
kick rangers and things like that, because you would not be able to like bend at the hips. So I think that
You could be like, I'll get you, Red Ranger."
it's my roundhouse.
Nice, nice. So, hey, will you call this figure Mini Me?
This is mini me. This is totally mini me. Yeah, this is absolutely. I'm just gonna carry her around with me on my shoulder. I want to get one of those magnet things so I can wear her around, like, I think
Oh,
that'd be nice. I might have her sit so she'd be more comfortable.
that'd be cool. So, one more, I think a few more things before we wrap up. Let's do a few size comparisons like we did before. So here she is. Well, perfect, perfectly in scale with the figure she comes with naturally. You know, that's fine. And then here she is with this was a special Red Ranger figure released for Beast Morphers, and this
Ooh,
looks this looks pretty accurate, And it's cool, they both personally fought quite a few times, so that's neat. You can
yeah. Of
re-
course, like in reality, like I'm shorter than Steve. You know what I mean? Like
mhm. Or wait,
I
we can
might
do
have been closer in height to the stunt people at that time, but I know Steve's martial arts were really, really good, but he's taller than I am, so
mhm.
that would be more like if this was red, it'd be maybe like that.
Right. Now here she is with Goldar, and well, you've seen the suit in person, so are you in fact we had it just a moment ago, one sec. So here it is. Would you say this looks pretty accurate?
Yeah, I think that's like spot on. Um, yeah,
Mm,
that's a really good. I totally need that figure.
yes, you can recreate some poses and stuff, which I've done a few
Oh,
already.
that would be so fun. You should totally post that. Like put them together.
I did one with the Funko. And of course, here's one with the boss lady herself, Rita.
Oh, cool.
And now you can, there was that shot of them standing on the cliff, and it was from Ranger though, but
Oh, nice.
you
Well, we
can.
have like numerous pictures of Carla and I together because we've done photo ops, we've just like hung out and all that. So I think that would be fun too to find some like real life photos of the two of us
Oh,
and in costume, and then with the put those side by side.
oh, that'd be cool. That'd be
So I
really
totally need that figure too.
cool. Hasbro's making you want to buy more stuff.
Yeah, you know what would be super cool is just a score like a whole villains thing, some like, combo packs.
Oh yes, I am still begging for a King Mondo. This is King Mondo,
Oh yeah.
figure. This is the only version of him that's available, and he's a bowling pin, pretty much. Like you roll
Oh,
him down like a bowling pin. All right, here she is alongside. I don't know if you've not really sure how tall you are compared to Melanie Perkins, but here you are next to Astronema. I think
is Scorpina actually taller than Astronomas?
we never see them meet on screen, so we don't know for sure. But
Well, in real life, if memory serves, we're probably like same, if if not, she might be a touch taller actually,
mm-hmm.
in like as far as like in human real life form.
We'll have to next Morphicon if you and Melanie Perkins are there together, we'd be like, okay, let's settle this. We take the figures and have you both stand together, and then we call
That's
Hasbro
right. This is important, Melly. Come over, come over here.
and.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right. I think. Oh yeah, here she is alongside some Evil Rangers, which looks pretty decent. Like here's a squad and a Psycho Ranger. I'll tell Patrick later he cameoed in this.
Oh, cool.
And
Did they have like the optional face one with
n-
that?
no, sadly they don't, which is weird because because they took on human form in the show, and it's a shame they aren't given one. Maybe,
You know
maybe
what? He probably didn't have like cool enough scrunchy action happening to earn him that because
possibly
yeah, because
right. Oh, sorry.
Aisha slash Karen has all the cool hairdos.
Exactly. And one lastly, here she is with the newest figure from Dino Fury, which
Ooh.
so now you can actually have her come back and start terrorizing the new generation. So just like,
Yeah, you know what's it's fun. I think that they maybe because she's a villain, they made her a little like bigger, so she's a little more intimidating. Because like obviously standing next to any of those Red Rangers
hmm
in in person, I'm shorter than all of the guys, you know.
hmm
So so
so
that's
I think that about does it. I think and what would have also been pretty neat aside from you know like this pack is already okay. I'm gonna give my score already 10 out of 10 because great figures. Um, like perfect sculpts overall. I think what would have been maybe even neater is if maybe Scorpina came with her pet worm figure, which you know what episode I'm talking about. But she also did use this in the American. She also did use this in Mighty Morphin as well, briefly. Or maybe give us this battle helmet like with a mask, or maybe even give us a civilian head with just like
oh yeah, that would be fun.
of just you, which would be neat. Maybe, like, who knows? Maybe at some point we'll get more. Like I said, this may not be the end of Scorpina's time in the toy biz. So, what would you?
You could do the whole set where like Adam, Aisha, and Sabrina are we're all in very similar clothes. We all have we all have scrunch socks. We all have like little vests over t-shirts. Like
Don't forget
that would
the
be awesome. That would be like the best set ever. Be like
don't forget the don't forget the t-shirt tied around your waist thing.
that's
That
right.
would
And you gotta
yeah.
have something tied around your waist. And then but yeah, you could totally have the whole gi with, and take her through the whole kata and stuff like that, with hair, different hair attachments, some of them like up in the air when like coming down from jumps and stuff.
Right. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. The possibilities are really endless for the Goldar's vice versa entire collection.
Exactly. So, what would you give this like rating overall? Like, what would you
I mean,
score
I
it?
might be biased, but out of 10, I would for sure give this a 10. I'm just like more and more impressed. I even like the whole idea of giving her a little hair trim. So that brings her kind of closer to like, present day, my own present day hair. So that's
Hmm.
totally accurate and kind of foreshadowing. Um, I just, yeah, the detail is intense. I mean, I know that they have the costume itself, so that probably helped. Um,
Hmm.
but just, they were watching the episode too, because how else could you get, the whole scrunchy action? Um, so that was kind of cool. I think that I I would definitely give it at least a 10. And I love that they also gave you the opportunity to put, the human form Aisha had on. Oh, there you go. I haven't
Hmm.
even attempted it because I was too afraid. I
Oh,
didn't.
it's fine.
Yeah. No, see, I like this. I like that picture a lot. I think there's wait, was there? Oh no, somebody posted one of those. Yeah, because the box just has the regular Ranger version.
Hmm.
And then I just wanted also, to do a shout out as well because this is 2022. This is Kent and I have known each other for 10 years. This is our 10-year, our decade, our first decade of being friends since he came up to me at the 2012 Power Morphicon and we chatted there, right? Power Morph-
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
2012. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, a decade. And
I know.
we haven't changed a bit, although Kent has matured and become more knowledgeable and bigger in the Morphin realm for sure. So
Oh yes.
taught
Thank
me
you.
most of what I know about Scorpina right there. Oops,
Exactly.
right
And
there.
it's been mind blowing. Right. Thanks. Oh, right. Thank you.
I know
Um,
it's opposite, so
yeah, it's very confusing, like which side to point to sometimes. But yes,
that's why I can't seem to center this helmet because I keep like doing it and then I'm like,
and I feel like I'm tilting sometimes. I feel like look like I'm sideways. But yes, Sabrina and I, thank you for 10 years of friendship. This was actually the autograph she gave me in 2012, and here's another autograph she gave me a few years back, and we've done quite a few things together. Like seen each other at conventions, and then she's done like shout outs for me a few times, and I've mentioned her in a few podcasts, and she's mentioned me. So, and it's nice to find. And like we did the Q&A, and then we did the Viewing Globe podcast a while back, but now this is like but I was just like, we need to do something where it's like just you and me, like talking. Like no offense to Ryan or any of the other Morphin Network crew, but I was like, we have to do something big and special. And when this figure came up, I was just like, hey, let's do a podcast together talking about it. So
yeah, perfect. And the other funniest thing or random fact is that um I just had a total period of time, and it must have been that 2012 Power Morphicon, where I forgot how to spell the word villains, and I spelled it VILLIANS. So there's a handful. Exactly. So it says villains. It's supposed to say villains rule, but Kent has one of the rare collectible Villians rule autographs. So, that's pretty unique because I have since learned to spell that word.
I've sometimes misspelled some stuff as well. It's nothing
Yeah,
to be.
exactly. And you know what? We're all human or aliens or, villains or villains.
Humans pretending to be humans disguised as terrifying monsters.
That's right. So that's, you have a lot to worry about when you're trying to figure out like vowel blends and things. So
Exactly. So
but I think it was my daughter who was like, you're spelling that wrong.
Wow. It'd be like, but hey, maybe this will probably be worth a lot of money someday.
That's right.
hmm It
I
could
was
be
like,
my.
do you have one of the rare times when Sabrina forgot how to spell villains? Because that's gonna be worth something.
Maybe this could be my nursing home money someday. I mean, wait. I'm timeless, so never mind.
That's right. Timeless.
All right. So before we wrap up, I almost forgot we had to. Having such a fun time, I almost forgot we had to do the comment section. So,
Woo.
yeah. So let's start off. Prothamish says, "Hi Kent. Hi Prothamish." Miss Moore, I think she said, "Cool." I think I know who this guy is. William Ford. Hey Ford. He's saying, "Hey Kent." Let's see. Are you excited for the Dawn Brothers and the first female Pink Ranger? That's a question about Super Sentai. It's looking interesting. We'll just have to see. Edward Sanchez says, "Hello, Scorpina."
Hello, Edward Sanchez.
And then Prothamish says, "Hopefully they should make a SH figure arts of Scorpina." That would be pretty cool too. Figure arts is a even fancier toy line as well, and it'd be neat if they could make some of those give you one of those as well.
Yeah, and actually related to that is that people have asked me before, what was your audition like? And I remember the callback, and they asked us like, do you have any questions? And I'm sure it was more like, do you have any questions like, when will we find out? When is this shooting? That kind of like actual serious questions that people ask at auditions.
hmm
But knowing what little I knew of the Power Rangers at that time, I was like, "Oh, I do have a question. Will I have or will she have an action figure?" And they just sort of stared blankly at me, and they're like, we don't know." And then we waited, what, 30 years,
Almost exactly.
and here we are with a really, really nice action figure.
Okay. Actually, that was going to be another question I was planning on asking you. Let's just go back to 1994 for a moment. Pretend, you're in the Power Ranger studio asking that question again. Now, if they had said this, it's like, yeah, but you won't get it until the year 2022. What would your reaction be?
That would be so funny. That would be so funny and weird, like, "Are you a time traveler?" Like we're charting out our plan for action figures, and we put this one in 2022. Is that cool? I would have said, well, personally, I would love it if you could move that timeline up like a couple decades at least. Also, but you know what would be so prophetic about that would be the whole fact that the Power Rangers, I'd be like, people are still going to be watching Power Rangers in 2022, right?
Yeah.
Because at this time, we're talking about like a kids' TV show. There was nothing like that kind of longevity.
Right.
People would still be watching, different versions of the Power Rangers. So that would have been like an amazing comment. I think I would have been a little speechless. And
Mhm.
as you can tell, I'm hardly ever speechless. So that would be, that'd be so funny. Well, yeah, we're gonna have a great one. We're gonna go through a bunch of different companies owning the rights and everything. And when it lands in Hasbro, they're gonna do right by you and create this.
Mhm. Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, I can. It's like I remember like thinking, oh, we'll never get a figure of her, and then I was like, but now at Power Rangers kind of teaching me nothing is set in stone anymore. So I was like, pretty much anything seems possible now. So yeah, and
Yeah, it's a good life lesson. The patience, have patience.
mhm.
Good things will come.
And what's kind of insane, and the reason I know it's been almost 30 years is that I don't think I've ever. I forget if I've told you this before. I was actually born 3 days after the show premiered. So it's like fate aligned or something. It's just so ironic. And like the show's about to turn its 30th anniversary, and I'm don't really brag about this, but I'm on the cusp of 30, which is kind of insane. So all right, next comment.
Yeah,
No,
well,
no.
that's good. It's a good way to remember,
Mhm.
how long ago. Power Rangers came to be. Wow.
Yeah, it's like I pretty much associate them with each year.
Oh my goodness, the book. It's
Each
beautiful.
year, each year of my life, I was like, oh yeah, that was 2002 when Wild Force was out, or that was 2005 with SPD. All right, next comment. Hey mama, that's awesome. I do not think I know anybody that has a figure of that.
Aw, now you do. Hi,
Mhm.
Mom.
Uh, Creeley, I'm sorry, I'll call you more. I'm sorry, I don't really know how to spell your name. Go Power Rangers. Prothamish. Oh, are you excited, Don? Oh wait, are you? Yeah. Let's see. Parker. Hi, Sabrina. Thanks for making my childhood special, even if you had a small role in this on the series.
Well, you are so welcome. It was like the best most fun time, like a week. It was like a week, but boy, can you believe how many years later we're still talking about it? And how many people do that and then get to have an action figure?
Exactly. So,
So
um,
you're welcome, Parker Beard.
Williamport says the details on these figures looks great. Yes, they really are, and it's like I said, it's really mind blowing to be actually holding a tiny version of this character, which is insane. Larry says, "Hey Kent, hey Sabrina, hey Larry."
Hey,
We'll do
Larry.
we'll do a few more. Hey Jen, how's it going?
Hi, Genesis.
Mm-hmm. And my Uncle Tom saying good interview. Thank you.
Oh,
So I think, yeah, that about does it. So, oh, and like I said, if we could get, I guess, one more last thing I promised to ask about right quick. So, of these forms, okay, okay, let's take this one out for a second. Of these forms, which would you want to see in toy, see be made into a figure?
oh, wow.
The reason I took her monster form out is because naturally I think you would have picked that one instantly.
Yeah, 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 for sure. The monster form from the episode that, when she goes, "I'm back." That'd be really cool. I kind of liked, maybe it was the second to the last one. I liked the
Yeah,
last one too. Honestly, I like all of them. Oh wait,
yeah.
go one more. This one. I don't know why. I think this would be like kind of for formal night. The way, the most of this is very Scorpina, but it's like the headpiece definitely gives a nod to Rita. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean? So I feel like this one would be really neat. To do. I also always like long dresses, like this
Hmm.
long skirt. Incredibly impractical for fighting. So I'm guessing she's more like able to just make things happen with her staff and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
probably has all her henchmen to do like the hand-to-hand combat. Um, because I don't think you wanna be, like, fighting in, like, an evening gown per se. It's sort of like why you don't wanna really have capes as a superhero, as a villain. You probably don't wanna wear, like, evening gowns.
Exactly, kind of like what Edna said in The Incredibles.
No capes.
Okay, yes,
No capes.
exactly. I would definitely, if we could get another Scorpina figure, or my next pick would definitely be this one. This was like another giant monster form she took on before in the comic, and that naturally, of course, her monster form as well, because I probably would have picked that as well. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just classic.
hmm. All right, so I think that about does it. Where can we find you in social media?
Well, the easiest place, I'm not actually on Twitter because I don't understand it.
Me neither.
Also, I'm not on TikTok because again, I've no clue. So the easiest place to find me for sure on Facebook, there I have an American Scorpina thing, and also if you want to see all of the random stuff about just life, that's my Instagram. Will have all of that, and that's at Sabby Lulu to you. I should have a simpler handle, but I panicked. I also came late to the Instagram game, and Sabrina Lu was taken. All of it. Sabrina Lu 2 was taken. So somehow I got to Sabby Lu, and that was taken. Then I got to Sabby Lulu, that was taken. It was ridiculous. So that's how I ended up on Sabby Lulu to you.
It's it's weird all the names that people would pick on Instagram. I did so yeah, naturally. I was also a bit late to Instagram as well, and my password is or my username is my sister's name. So you can find me at brown_K30 on Instagram, as well as QR Ranger Book, where I show this massive behemoth scrapbook off. And you can find me here on the Morphin Network. We are in a bit of a I'm not really say we're not in a rut right now. We're just kind of like trying to figure things out. That's why not a lot of streams have been happening lately, but we hope to get back on track as soon with the new year. So yes. So with that being said, thank you again, Sabrina, for joining me. This was amazing. So and very mind blowing. And like I
Super
said,
fun. Boop, 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 boop.
and like I said, we cannot be held responsible for if the world blows up because Scorpina is reviewing a figure of herself while dressed like the character. So
Yeah, I mean, we could open up a portal. We could open up a portal back to, I think, 1994 and to asking that question and
Mhm.
them opening and then them looking through and say, and I could say, see, here's the action figure. It's
Mm,
only been like 30 years, so your patience paid off.
exactly. Alrighty, so that about does it. So it's time to wave goodbye, sadly.
Bye. We'll talk soon. You guys have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy if you've got the action figures or if you're going to get them, enjoy. They are very well done. I'm really pleased with
and de-
oh,
and
go ahead.
definitely and definitely worth it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks, Kent.
sure thing. My thank you. So, all right, we'll see you all later.